But as a father, also, not just working with youth, but having a 12 and a 14-year-old, that we have created a brave space in our home that our kids can ask us the hard questions, and we'll have critical, courageous conversations in our home.
Yeah.
Why? Because I am a steward
Mm.
of my sons. I am the responsible one that helps to not necessarily shape everything they believe, but give them a God perspective, a healthy perspective of what is presented to them. But then on the other side of that, I think, Elizabeth, the part that people don't like is that I don't get to dictate what my child believes and knows.
Mm. Woo! Say that again, Jefferson.
I don't get to dictate
Mm-hmm.
what my child believes and what they know.
Mm.
But I do have a responsibility to provide a God perspective that is a healthy perspective, as I'm shaping them to be responsible, healthy adults that can go out into society. Because if I don't teach them, everybody else is going to. But if I say no, 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 no to everything, then I'm going to close the door and they'll come to me for nothing. And so as we think about this book banning, it is a building of borders around the imagination of people.
Mm.
Because many want the imagination of their children to be a offspring of what they know,
Mm.
and not a development of what God is shaping in them, or what's developing in them naturally because of the way that they are wired. And with this, all of this, I think too, it comes down to these thoughts that people have, that I don't want you to learn what I'm ignorant about, or I don't want you to learn about what I have discomfort with.
Mm.
Mm.
Because you bringing up the history or truth, or truth telling, dealing with these hard issues, I haven't even wrestled with the discomfort and the pain that I have. So how do you think I'm going to be able to help you navigate something that I haven't even resolved in myself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So good. That's good. There was a that's so good. There was a woman, I think she may have been in Florida, but she was a survivor of the Holocaust. And she was reminding people in a video. She kind of brought her testimony to a community event that they were having to discuss all the banning of books that's happening in Florida. But it's not just happening in Florida; it's happening in other places, and some places it's happening under this undercurrent, with a lot of political agendas that are driving this, and so partisan agendas. Let's say that partisan agendas that are
Mhm.
driving this, and so one of the things that she said was, you know, pointing back to some of the things that were done to begin dehumanizing and you know um, a lot of the Jewish community was the banning of books, removing them from history. And so she recounts that, and saying, like basically a warning: don't go down this slippery slope. I heard recently, I think, one parent can complain, and just think about the danger of that. One parent can complain, and then a school is making a decision to ban the entire book. Like so just think of one parent
Mhm.
having that much power.
Mhm.
That is a dangerous slippery slope. I think Amanda Gorman's speech,
Mhm.
which
Was banned.
inspired a lot of people, was recently her book was banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, and there
I'd
was
love.
this.
Can
Yeah,
I
go
just?
ahead.
I just got as the white lady on the podcast. I just have a word for my people, real quick here. Like
Come
Yes.
on. Talk
when
to
Go
your
ahead,
people.
get the word.
when we are the parent who is dictating, that broader thing, we are falling into a long white cultural norm and pattern of
Mm.
allowing our fear to be weaponized by those in power.
Teach the people, Elizabeth. Teach the
So
people.
when white people are scared, Black people die. We've talked about that on prior episodes with guns and things. When white people are afraid, Black people's history gets erased. When white people are afraid, what happens to marginalized communities? There is so much fear that our children will feel any sense of guilt or discomfort. Or, I mean, there was actually a Texas legislator that said, like, I'm going to pull any book that makes someone feel any psychological distress at all. And
But what children?
we know what's unsaid
Yeah,
there,
what
right? We know
children?
which children they're actually worried about. They're not
Yeah.
worried about the BIPOC children in those communities.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so we are so afraid that our children will have any level of discomfort that we are willing to allow other children to end up dead.
Yeah.
And we've decided that, like, that's a white cultural norm. That is a historical through line through our history. And when we decide to play into that, because, well, no, actually, this book maybe actually really is dangerous, or this school, this whatever, you are playing into a narrative. And I want to ask that same question that I asked that woman in MOPS: who's benefiting from your fear? Who's benefiting from your lack of knowledge? Who's benefiting from that ban? Because I promise you that it is never the most marginalized in your community. It is always the most privileged in your community who are benefiting from you being told to be afraid, for you being told to push a ban. It is always going to lead to the further marginalization of a community. And when we are ever okay with a people group being marginalized, we are acting well outside our call to be life and to be light and to be love and hope in our communities.
Yeah, so good, so good.